Yes, this is the question. Okay, there's a question here. What is the necessity of self-service, selfless service? The question is asking, service, or we are obligated to give back more than we have taken from the society. Isn't it a requirement for one's peaceful existence? That means it is good. It's a good social policy for peaceful existence in the society. I have to give back to society. If there is indeed no other, that we are all indeed merely appearance of Bhagavan, Ishvara, Allah, Jesus, or we are the same stardust, then wouldn't we care for everyone or everything as our own? Wouldn't this view remove the delusion of separation or otherness? But I find that I am not unable to have that feeling of oneness. Still, I have to do service. Am I going about this in a wrong way? So the question is the importance of service in life. So first of all, service is not done for others at all. Service is called selfless service. Actually, you are serving your own self. The others are just a means. You are helping yourself by serving others. There's no service for others at all.
Appears to service, not to service.
Huh?
The less appears to service.
The less appears to service. So, selfless service we are speaking of. This is called Nishkama Karma. Now, what is the purpose of Nishkama Karma? Why should I do? Am I obligated to service to the society? Is it obligation? Obligation is a burden. Okay. So, it's like duty bound. If I go to office, I'm duty bound to work for 8 hours. So obligation brings the concept of duty. The service with the concept of duty is called Runanubandha in Vedanta, Sanskrit. Runa means you are obligated. You are obligated to 5 aspects of nature. Bhuta, Bhuta Yadna, Manushya Yadna, Rushi Yadna, Pitra Yadna, Deva Yadna. You are obligated to animals, human beings, Devatas, Rushis, and Pitras, ancestors. So you are obligated. You are doing service out of obligation. It's called Yadna. It's called Runa. If you don't repay the Runa, if you don't, obligation is loan. You have taken loan from them, borrowed from something for your living, you have to repay it. So that's called Runa. If you don't repay the Runa, you will take many lifetimes to repay the Runa. It's called Runanubandha. When we are speaking of selfless service, we are not at all speaking of Runanubandha. Not at all speaking of obligation at all. Then what is this selfless service? Selfless service is, I have diagnosed my disease. I have a problem. I have a disease. This is called disease called Bhavaroga. What is this Bhavaroga? Disease. I feel miserable because I am separate from the totality. A wave is feeling separate from the ocean. I am a part of the whole, but I feel separate from the whole. That's why I have a hole inside me. There's a gap inside me. I'm feeling empty because I'm separate from the totality. I feel miserable, small creature. It's called samsari. Now, how do I come out of this? I understand my problem. I have an understanding of problem. What is the problem? Ahankara and mamakara are troubling me. It's called ahankara and mamakara. My whole life is surrounded I, me, mine. My house, my family, my money, my children, my boss, my job. So it's called ahankara and mamakara. I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. So I have understood the problem. I have got a limited sense of self, and my whole life I am dedicated to limited sense of self. So when you say nishkama karma or selfless service, I am trying to cure my disease. I am not helping anybody else. I am helping myself. I am trying to go beyond the boundary of I, me, mine. If you are under the illusion of the helping others, serving others, it's false. It is you are helping yourself to get rid of your disease called ahankara and mamakara. That's called service. So less of self less of ego, so that you become self, which is pure. A whole is called selfless service. So selfless service is done not with the obligation, not for helping others. It is for helping your own self, miserable self. I go beyond my boundary, limited boundary. Then how does it help me? How does it help you is, it is done not for helping others, because there are no others. It's only self is present in all. That's why Ishwararpitam, Nechaya Kratam, Chitta Shodakam, Mukti Sadakam. Service is not done for others. Service is done to God through the others. You're offering your service to God, not to others. Others are the means. The God is the recipient of service. And why God is the recipient of service? The God, when you do service, your prayer is, God, be pleased with my service and purify me. Actually, this is called bhakti. This is called devotion. Devotion to God is not a puja in the puja room. Devotion to God starts when you go out of the puja room. You see God everywhere and you're able to do service. That's called devotion. So devotional service is called devotional service, is not helping others. Helping others is called social service. We are speaking of devotional service, service devoted to God, service devoted to God through human beings. Nara Narayana, seeing God in everybody. If you see a human being there, then it becomes a social service. If you see do devotion service, God in every living being, animals, plants, human being, you can't see fully. You understand this God. I'm trying to serve God through this. Then it becomes means. So that is called self-service. Is it obligatory? Not at all obligatory. Is it necessary for you? It's you have to decide whether you have a disease and you need a medicine. Nishkama karma or karma yoga, medicine for our limited self. Break the bondages, break the illusion of limited self. So Nishkama karma is selfless service, is a practice. There's an ego there. I want to purify myself, is the ego. I want working for God, Ishvara. That's called Nishkama karma. Okay? Or selfless service. So is there a desire there? Definitely there is a desire. The kama means I want, how is Nishkama? Nishkama, it's called Nishkama karma. Kama karma means I want to get some happiness from what I get. Here I don't have any expectation of any happiness. I want only purify myself. Purification is the goal. So purification goal is called Nishkama. It's not for, kama means always for desire for objects of the world. Here the kama is there, desire for God, attainment of supreme reality. Desire for God is not called kama. Desire called Nishkama. It's going beyond kama. Beyond ahankara. So the whole purpose of Nishkama karma is ahankara. It becomes Naishkarmya when you have realization. Realization that I'm not the doer, I'm not the enjoyer, I'm not Naham Karta, Naham Bhokta, Naham Data. That's called realization. It's called self-realization. Karma will give to self-realization. It's called Naishkarmya. So that's why I want to tell you here, the Bodhisattva woe. So in Buddhist tradition, all seekers will take a vow called Bodhisattva vow. So the Bodhisattva is sentient beings are in numberless, infinite number of sentient beings are there. I'll serve them. I'll vow to save them by my realization. Delusions are endless, infinite delusions are there. I vow to transcend them all. That means I'll work for my liberation. The gates of dharma are many. I want to, the path of dharma is many. I want to enter them all. The Buddha way is unsurpassed. I want to talk on the way of the enlightened master, Buddha. So they take a vow to serve sentient beings for their liberation. So all beings are like me, they are suffering. Myself is suffering in all the form of all beings. That's why you are recognizing yourself in all beings. Recognition of myself in all beings and serving them is called serving God. It is not social service. It's not an obligatory service. It's an enlightenment work for enlightenment. So here, the realization is one in all in one. The one in all. The one being is there, self in all. That self is in me. One in all in one realization is Nishkama Karma. Selfless service. That's what we say in Rigveda. Atmano mokshartam jagadaya. Work for your selfless realization, self-realization through Shravana Manana Nidyasa and Jagataya. Do service. Do not do the service with a sense of obligation. Do not this sense of what you call it is some sort of bondage. Do not do it as a social service. Selfless service or karma, nishkama karma is seeing the self in all in self. Now, has the perfect wisdom has come to you? No. Because ego is there. But as you progress in service, the ego will dissolve. So the question here, the questioner is asking, I'm not feeling the oneness. Am I going, how I'm going about this is wrong, all wrong. See, the one who has pursued selfless, oneness, is already realized. The person who is doing selfless nishkama karma is not realized. Okay? So you're not wrong in this. You're not able to pursue oneness. Your whole purpose is to pursue oneness. That's why you're working towards oneness. You're work in progress. You're not wrong. Okay? You should do, you don't do it with oneness, because if you do with oneness, it's not called nishkama karma, it's called naishkarmya. It's realization. Okay? It's called nishkama because for your work in progress. Okay? You are asking a question. I have gone to a sculptor's place. He is chiseling something. What he's doing, I don't understand. My dear sir, he's chiseling a divine God statue. You have to wait. The chips have to come out. You're chipping out yourself. Oneness is oneness, it'll take time. You drop your chips. You drop your impressions through nishkama karma. Your work in progress. So, as the work in progress proceeds, your vasanas and samskaras will drop. And then it comes naishkarmya. Naishkarmya means realization. Then this oneness. Then you'll graduate. But then still you'll continue to do service. But that's different way. The
subsequent question.
Yeah. So, you right now, selfless service which you are doing is for your upliftment. You are not doing for any other. You are working your own self. You are serving your own self by dropping, chipping away your limited self of I, me, mine. I'm not saying able to see oneness. Don't worry. Continue. You are on the right track. But only thing here to add is Atmano mokshartam jagataya. Self-relation, selfless service. Self-relation is service is what you do. Self-relation is Shravana, Manana, Nidyasa, contemplation of truth, who am I? Both should go hand in hand. The oneness is already there waiting for you. Anybody has a question on Zoom?
So, Prabhuji, can we say that here in this case, the selfless service that we do is the grass level expression of grass level oneness expression towards the absolute
So
real absolute
correct.
reality
See,
oneness.
The God or Brahman, okay?
Yes.
He is called Brahman or Supreme Reality, Transcendent Reality. It manifests as Saguna Brahma, manifest reality, immanent reality. It manifests as all living beings and non-living beings. So the one reality is appearing in the form of all living gross level. It's called Virat Rupa. So that understanding is required. I'm serving God only. So that helps you, because our whole life is filled with work, no? Some work or other work for I, me, mine. So that has to be converted to God's work. It's called devotional service. It is not a social service. It's serving the God in the Virat form, gross form. Okay?
Thank you.
Shall you go to next question? It'll come. Next question will come, right? Follow up. Next question is there, no follow up question.
Yes, there are, no, I said,
but in this is
In this, you have follow up question, or in the next question is follow up question, right?
Yeah.
The compassion is the follow up question.
you said,
Ah.
before you realize,
Yeah.
this is how you do service.
Yeah.
After you realize, that's a separate story. I said that is also a question later.
Yeah, I know that question is there. Actually,
Yeah.
he's not asking. The question is already put there.
Yeah.
I just put restroom and come.